Hello everyone, today we will be discussing about accessibility testing along with few examples and types of testing. See, in this digital era where technology plays a pivotal role in our lives, we must ensure that everyone, regardless of their abilities, can access and use digital content. This is where accessibility testing comes in. Accessibility was introduced in early 1990s with American with Disability Acts, which aimed to prohibit discrimination amongst people with disabilities. In the following years, uh, there was a need to extend these principles, and that formulated into a set of guidelines today we known as Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, or WCAG as we call. These guidelines provided a framework for making web content more accessible to people with disabilities, forming the foundation of modern accessibility testing. In accessibility testing, we ensure that digital products such as websites, applications, softwares can be used by everyone, regardless of their physical or cognitive abilities. It is just not about the compliance with regulations, it is about creating an inclusive digital environment that benefits everyone. Imagine a scenario where a visually impaired individual cannot navigate a website to make a purchase or access important information. Accessibility testing bridges the gap by identifying and rectifying designs and development flaws that could hinder accessibility. So, we must use technology to our advantage so that the gap between any user or a different type of users are narrowed down and content is accessible to each and everyone. Now, let us look into few types of accessibility testing. The first one is screen reader testing. Screen readers are software programs that convert text into a synthesized speech, allowing visually impaired users to read digital content. An example would be using a screen reader to navigate through a website and ensuring that all the content is properly read out and understood. To give out a few examples of screen readers, you have narrator by default in Windows operating system. Just tap on start, search for narrator and use that. So if you're using a Mac OS or an iOS, you have voiceover, which you can again enable from the settings. The other two popular screen reader softwares that are quite extensively used are JAWS, which stands for Job Access with Speech, and second one is NVDA, Non-Visual Desktop Access. The second type of testing is called keyboard navigation testing. See, some users cannot use a mouse due to mobility impairments. Accessibility testing involves navigating through a website solely using the keyboard, ensuring that all interactive elements like buttons, links, drop downs, keyboard areas, text areas are reachable and functional. The third type of testing is called color contrast testing. Now, people with color blindness or visually impairments may struggle to differentiate between certain color combinations. Accessibility testing involves checking that text and background colors meet the appropriate contrast ratios for readability. Here also there are different set of standards like double eight standard, triple A standard. What should be the color contrast in normal text, in large text? These sort of things are covered in color contrast testing. Now, fourth type of testing is called alt text testing. See, images on websites convey information, but for visually impaired users, these image needs alternative text, which we call alt text descriptions. Accessibility testing verifies that images have meaningful alt text, aiding understanding for users who cannot see the images. See, as a normal user, one person can understand what is happening in image, but for a visually impaired user, it is not possible to understand because the person cannot see that image. So, a meaningful description should be provided that so that a disabled user or a visually impaired user can understand what the current image is and what it signifies. Now, the fifth type of testing is form and label testing. Now, form and labels are quite important, are used extensively in websites, especially application forms. Accessibility testing ensures that forms have clear labels, appropriate field types like text box, text area, link, radio button, check mark, these sort of things. And that error message also, whenever you are submitting anything, an error message comes, they are descriptive, benefiting users who may have cognitive disabilities. So that an accessible user or a visually impaired user can also understand what this form is about, what is this field. And on submission, if there is an error, that person should know what the error is. So error messages also need to be descriptive. The sixth type of testing is called video and multimedia testing. See, videos and multimedia content should have captions, transcripts, and audio descriptions to cater users to with hearing impairments. Accessibility testing here ensures that these elements are present and accurate. By performing all the type of testing as we have mentioned, we can ensure that our digital products are accessible to a diverse range of users. So let's remember that accessibility is just not a checkbox because it is mandated by Section 508 in US or Digital India or Sugami Bharat campaign in India. It is about making technology a tool for empowerment and equality. In the coming videos, we will go into deep dive how can we perform these type of testing. I'll try to show you some of the examples as well. Do like, share and subscribe so that you can know about it. If you want to share your opinion on accessibility testing or your experience, please do comment below the video. Thank you for watching.